Okay, so in our last lesson, we talked all about verbal communication. In this one, we're going to focus on how our nonverbal cues can make or break our interactions with our loved ones. It's not just what you say, it's how you say it. So there's a few things we need to be really conscientious of when we're talking to our loved ones with dementia. The first is our tone of voice. Your tone of voice will set the stage for the interaction. So think of the difference between saying, "come with me," and "come with me." People with dementia tend to mirror the emotions of others around them. So they'll look around for clues of, how to feel. Think of if you were out in public and you didn't know where you were or what was going on. If you looked around and you saw that everybody else was distressed, you might realize that there's, something bad happening. But if everybody's smiling and happy, you'd probably feel a little bit more relaxed. You can also use your tone to find the calm in distressing or challenging moments. If you're helping somebody in the bathroom after maybe they've had an accident, if you are cheerful and matter of fact, it's going to go a lot better for you than if you're frustrated or flustered. They're going to pick up on that. And that can really infer feelings of shame on people. It's already an embarrassing situation. And then to see that you are frustrated by it, it's going to make that person feel bad. And then you can use it the other direction too. So showing enthusiasm or excitement for everyday situations and activities. When I'm working with friends with dementia, I am generally very kind of exaggerated in my tone of voice and in body language. We need to be conscientious of our facial expressions too. A lot of us are caring for our parents or our spouses, and it's a spouse's or a parent's job to know if their spouse or child is well, or if they're upset, or if they're angry, or anything like that. And that doesn't go away just because they have dementia. Anytime, I'm at work, if I'm feeling down or if I'm having a bad day, my residents will pick up on it and ask what's wrong. You also want to maintain eye contact. That's a good way to let each other know that you see each other and that you're listening. It's really important in our body language. If somebody's got shifty eyes or they're looking away, it triggers, deep down in us kind of feelings of distrust. We can praise and acknowledge non-verbally too. With a nod, with a smile, with a touch or hug if appropriate. Holding hands really goes a long way to let that person know that you're there with them and you feel for them. We also need to be conscious of our physical approach, how we enter the room, how they see us. It's very important when you're working with folks with dementia. First thing you need to do is make yourself known. It's very easy to accidentally sneak up on someone with dementia. Many people have hearing difficulties at that age. And then also the visual field of somebody with dementia shrinks down. So they call it binocular vision. So it's almost like you're looking through binoculars. A lot of the stuff on the sides and underneath and above, you can't really see. So if somebody comes in from the side or comes up from behind, it can be very startling for someone with dementia. And, unfortunately, that's a lot of times when people might get struck, is they snuck up on someone and they defended themselves. We want to greet from a safe distance. So if I walk into a room, I'll knock first, and then I'll stand outside of that person's personal space and greet them and make sure that they acknowledge me and I can tell that they know that I'm there. And then you want to establish eye contact before moving forward. Eye contact is very powerful for conveying trust. And then extend your hand out when approaching. Especially with men, you go out and reach for a handshake, they reach right back. That doesn't really go away. You can also kind of hold your hand palm up, and they can grab the top, and that's kind of more of a submissive posture. So, it's not threatening. A lot of people with dementia, when you go in for a handshake, will squeeze. So one remedy for that would be to, you go in for the handshake, and then you rotate. So it's more palm to palm. And that way if they squeeze, it's not hurting your hand. And then once you've approached and you've kind of established this relationship and that you guys are together, it's often very beneficial to stand to the side of the person, whether it's during care or walking. Just with the dynamics of care sometimes, you end up with a lot of these kind of head-to-head, face-to-face interactions. And that can be quite intimidating. So we want to get to the side, and that kind of shows that you are doing something with them. You're not doing something to them. You're not standing over them. It's a much more friendly posture. You also want to get to their eye level. If you're sitting down in a chair or laying in a bed and there's somebody standing over you, that's kind of intimidating. We want to avoid that. So anytime somebody's sitting in a chair or lying down, I squat down next to them and show that we're on the same level and that I'm not trying to stand over them. We also need to remember that nonverbal communication is a two-way street. Just like they can pick up on things that our face or our body language are showing, we need to pick up on things that they're trying to communicate nonverbally. We need to learn to read the body language of our loved ones. A lot of times they cannot communicate their needs. They can't say I'm hot or cold or tired or hungry or thirsty. Can't quite articulate that. So we need to be able to look for cues in their face and in their body language and their actions to pick up on what's going wrong. Facial expressions can indicate a lot of things, like pain. If somebody's got a grimace or they're wincing, especially if it's associated with a movement. Every time they step down, they kind of cringe. Maybe they've got a pinched nerve or a sore back. Or if they're grimacing during transfers or things like that, that can all indicate that there's pain that they might not be able to tell you about. Distress, you can very easily see a sense of worry. And if you can pick up on that distress before it gets to a catastrophic state, you might be able to head it off and provide that reassurance or, let that person know what's going on so they're not feeling as distressed. And also happiness. If you see somebody smiling all day and you tried something different, you can pick up on that facial expression and say, okay, well, I know that if we listen to music after lunch, they're happy. And you can add that to your arsenal to be able to better care for your loved one. And discomfort too. Even beyond facial expressions, one example would be, it's end-of-life care on hospice. We monitor people's heart rate and their breathing rate as a way to indicate pain. So if somebody's heart rate is spiking up when their morphine's starting to wear off, we can say, okay, their body's working a little bit harder. They're probably in discomfort right now. So we will have a short video here talking about the approach and kind of acting that out for you, and you can take that and watch it and try it with your loved one.
So right now we're going to do a demo for you to show you the step-by-step approach that we talked about in nonverbal. First step is you want to make yourself known. The second thing is you want to greet from a safe distance, about 6 to 8 feet, and you want to greet with some enthusiasm, right? We've talked about that over and over again. The third thing is establish eye contact. When you approach them, you're going to extend your hand out, and then you're going to get to the side of them, and then you're going to get down to their eye level. So with that being said, we'll get started with the demo.
Hello, Kim.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
It's so good to see you.
Good to see you.
What are you reading there?
I'm reading about Ohio, wine country.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been?
No, but I'm going.
Okay.
I'm going to leave tomorrow.
Excellent. I wish I could join.
Me too.